Valmiki Ramayana, Aranya Kanda, Book number 3, Sarga 30, Roman numerals XXX, 30, KHARA'S death. When Rama, pride of Raghu's race, virtue's dear son, had cleft the mace, thus with superior smile the best of chiefs the furious fiend addressed. Thou, worst of giant blood, at length hast shown the utmost of thy strength. Enforced by greater might to bow, thy vaunting threats are idle now. My shafts have cut thy club in twain, useless it lies upon the plain, and all thy pride and haughty trust lie with it levelled in the dust. The words that thou hast said today, that thou wouldst wipe the tears away of all the giants I have slain, my deeds shall render void and vain. Thou meanest of the giants' breed, evil in thought and word and deed, my hand shall take that life of thine, as Garud seized the Jews divine. Thou rent by shafts this day shalt die, low on the ground thy corse shall lie, and bubbles from the cloven neck with froth and blood thy skin shall deck. With dust and mire all rudely dyed, thy torn arms lying by thy side, while streams of blood each limb shall steep, thou on the earth's breast shalt take thy sleep. Like a fond lover when he strains the beauty whom at length he gains, now when thy heavy eyelids close, for ever in thy deep repose, again shall Dandak forest be safe refuge for the devotee. Thou slain, and all thy race who held the realm of Janastan expelled, again shall happy hermits rove, fearing no danger through the grove. Within these bounds they brethren slain, no giant shall this day remain, but all shall fly with many a tear, and fearing rid the saints of fear. This bitter day shall misery bring on all the race that calls thee king. Fierce as their lord thy dames shall know, bereft of joys, the taste of woe. Base, cruel wretch of evil mind, plaguer of Brahmans and mankind, with trembling hands each devotee feeds holy fires in dread of thee. Thus, with wild fury unrepressed, Raghu's brave son the fiend addressed, and Kara, as his wrath grew high, thus thundered forth his fierce reply. By senseless pride to madness wrought, by danger girt thou fearest not, nor heedest numbered with the dead, what thou shouldst say and leave unsaid. When fate's tremendous coils enfold the captive in resistless hold, he knows not right from wrong, each sense numbed by that deadly influence. He spoke, and when his speech was done, bent his fierce brows on Raghu's son. With eager eyes he looked around, if lethal arms might yet be found. Not far away, and full in view, a sal tree towering upward grew. His lips in mighty strain compressed, he tore it up with root and crest. With huge arms waved it o'er his head, and hurled it shouting, "Thou art dead." But Rama, unsurpassed in might, stayed with his shafts its onward flight, and furious longing seized his soul, the giant in the dust to roll. Great drops of sweat each limb bedewed, his red eyes showed his wrathful mood. 1,000 arrows swiftly sent, the giant's bosom tore and rent. From every gash his body showed, the blood in foamy torrents flowed, as springing from their caverns leap swift rivers down the mountain steep. When Kara felt each deadened power yielding beneath that murderous shower, he charged, infuriate with the scent of blood in dire bewilderment. But Rama watched with ready bow the onset of his bleeding foe, and ere the monster reached him drew backward in haste a yard or two. Then from his side a shaft betook, whose mortal stroke no life might brook. Of peerless might it bore the name of Brahma's staff, and glowed with flame. Lord Indra, ruler of the skies, himself had given the glorious prize. His bow the virtuous hero drew, and at the fiend the arrow flew. Hissing and roaring like the blast of tempest through the air it passed, and fixed by Rama's vigor sped in the foe's breast its pointed head. Then fell the fiend, the quenchless flame burned furious in his wounded frame. As so burned by Rudra Andak fell in Shweta Aranya's silvery dell, so Namuchi and Vritra died by steaming bolts that tamed their pride. So Bala fell by lightning sent by him who rules the firmament. Then all the gods in close array, with the bright hosts who sing and play, filled full of rapture and amaze, sang hymns of joy in Rama's praise, beat their celestial drums and shed rain of sweet flowers upon his head. For 3 short hours had scarcely flown, and by his pointed shafts o'erthrown the twice 7,000 fiends whose will could change their shapes in death were still. With Trishiras and Dushan slain, and Kara leader of the train, O wondrous deed the bards began, the noblest deed of virtuous men. Heroic strength that stood alone, and firmness and as Vishnu's own. Thus, having sung, the shining train turned to their heavenly homes again. Then the high saints of royal race and loftiest station sought the place, and by the great Agastya led, with reverence to Rama said, For this, Lord Indra, glorious sire, majestic as the burning fire, who crushes cities in his rage, sought Sharabhanga's hermitage. Thou wast this great design to aid, led by the saints to seek this shade, and with thy mighty arm to kill the giants who delight in ill. Thou Dasharatha's noble son, the battle for our sake hast won, and saints in Dandak's wild who live their days to holy tasks can give. Forth from the mountain cavern came the hero Lakshman with the dame, and rapture beaming from his face besought the hermit dwelling place. Then when the mighty saints had paid due honor for the victor's aid, the glorious Rama, honored too by Lakshman to his cot withdrew. When Sita looked upon her lord, his foeman slain, the saints restored, in pride and rapture uncontrolled, she clasped him in her loving hold. On the dead fiends her glances fell. She saw her lord alive and well, victorious after toil and pain, and Janak's child was blessed again. Once more, with new delight, her tender arms she threw round Rama, whose victorious might had crushed the demon crew. Then as his grateful reverence paid, each saint of lofty soul o'er her sweet face all fears allayed, and flash of transport stole. Absolutely beautiful. Wow. Footnotes. 264.1. Garu, the king of birds, carried off the Amrit, or drink of paradise, from Indra's custody. 264.1. A demon, son of Kashyap and Diti, slain by Rudra or Shiva, when he attempted to carry off the tree of paradise. 264.2. Namuchi and Vritra were two demons slain by Indra. Vritra personifies drought, the enemy of Indra, who imprisons the rain in the cloud. 264.3. Another demon slain by Indra. Wow, wow, wow. Absolutely beautiful. Majestic description. Credit where credit is due. This Sir Ralph Griffith did an excellent job with this poetic British. Translating Sanskrit to this kind of British is mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Absolutely beautiful. Wow. So many beautiful details. Sita was so happy. Lakshman was so happy. All the demigods were so happy. So, Rama presented himself just like an ordinary man. Although he is God himself, he presented himself as if an ordinary man. He didn't show his power levels too much, but when he exhibited them, it was majestic to behold. And all the demigods and all the sages from higher planetary systems came to witness this display of superhuman activities performed by Rama by killing the Rakshasas of Janasthana, Dandak forest. Wow. Indra, who rules the firmament. Wow. Krishna, Rama killed Kara with the weapon called Brahma's staff. Wow. All these celestial weapons he achieved through practice of virtue. Demons also, they have to practice virtue in order to achieve this kind of weaponry. And what is the virtue? Well, for the demons is performing great austerities by meditating for thousands of years without food and sex. No food and sex. Just you and your deep meditation. And then after millions of or thousands of years, then some demigod shows up like Brahma or Shiva and gives the blessing, or Kali Devi for high for fulfillment of the desire. Imagine all these demons, they go through so much trouble to do these austerities, to gain these powers. For what? To be arrogant, haughty, disdainful, impudent. For what? What is the purpose of gaining all these powers? To eat, to be a cannibal and eat innocent people, devour innocent people. Like the whole government of the world is run by these kind of rakshasas who literally drink the blood of children, torture them, molest them, and get high on adrenochrome. Rakshasas like to do that. So this, the whole world we are now witnessing in Kali Yuga is run by these kind of Rakshasas. And their minions, completely bought up, sold out. Politicians, movie stars, pop stars, name it, all sold out, all sold. Everybody completely sold their soul to Satan. In Kali Yuga, God is still present, but everything is perverted. They worship a God of four arms, a dead Jew on the cross. This symbolizes God of four arms. In other words, Satan mocking the beautiful four-arm form of Krishna, Christus Christ. And so basically, this mocking of God is going on in the name of religion called Christianity. And just to make sure how much they hate God, they slaughter cows. This is the main religion, the main church of Burger King, McDonald's, on every street corner of every city and village and town. That's their religion, slaughtering cows and worshipping a dead Jew on the Roman cross. Um, but we keep on remembering Rama, Ramayana, Roma Victor, victory to Rama, hail Rama, Jai Shri Ram, ciao.